I hope you all have been watching your spy movies, because today we're going to be building an underwater door. So I've had this idea for a little while now, and I was thinking, what if we were to create a hidden door like you kind of see in the movies that kind of just like opens up out of the water and one that you can just like walk into. But I don't want a door down like at the ocean floor. Like I'm thinking we have a door that pops up on the surface and leads down to a tunnel into the water. So one slight problem is I don't actually really know how to make flying machines. I've never really worked with them in the past. So this is definitely going to be something that might take some time. So if we try that here, you can see it working, and here we go upwards. So now we got to figure this out underwater. So I'm just going to clear a space where we want our secret passage to come up. So here's the piece of land that will fly up. So I'm just going to try building a bit of a flying machine here that will just extend upwards, and we'll see what happens. Oh, but I just realized we can't have dirt on here because we actually have to have a passage that we go down. So what I think we're going to have to do is retract the dirt out of the way, say using sticky pistons on either side. We can retract that dirt out of the way, and then we could have a flying machine kind of in the shape of a circle. So something like this. This may be a bigger project than I realized. Alright, so to actually cover up this whole thing, we're probably going to have another slime launcher or another flying machine that just would come out of here and cover this entire thing with dirt. Which is a bit more challenging than I thought, so we might have to do a little bit of terraforming to make way for it, but I think it's possible. Alright, so what I've managed to do is create a triple piston extender here that will retract and extend these honey blocks here so that we can cover up the flying machine here. So if we give it a test, we can hit the button here, and then well, I'll be the first to say that didn't go quite as planned. So I'm not sure that's actually going to work because this is 12 blocks here, so these back pistons aren't, like they won't be able to retract more than 12 blocks. And after significant testing and remodification, I came up with a design. Alright, so it is fully functional now. So it's taken a while, but I've come up with a system where the extension will work this time. So as you can see, when I hit the button, the pistons go in a bit of a different sequencing order. And I've had to add in a little bit of redstone and change around with some of the observer placements. And for the retraction, you do have to send a few pulses through the button, but we can just hook up the redstone that way. But as you can see now, it is fully functional and it's a relatively compact design. So then we can do this and mirror it on the other side so that we can have two of these side by side with slime blocks underneath. Alright, so with a bit of messy redstone wiring, which we can clean up, but this is just a proof of concept, we can see when we click this button, our platform gets extended out and the pistons retract as well. And then when we click the button again, our platform will be retracted. Great, so that is a great start. So we can hook this up in the water for all 4 modules. So now that we have the doors figured out, we have to figure out how the flying machine is going to work. Alright, so this is one half of our flying machine going upwards. The honey blocks are the other half, and now we just have to have a way of getting it back down. So I will say that I am having trouble with the two-way flying machine, but I'm determined not to do it without any tutorial. So I want to see if I can keep working away at this. Alright, so I've done it. I found a super simple design for a two-way flying machine up and down. Now I'm sure this is a well-known design, and I'm sure the flying machine experts would probably laugh at this. But since I don't really have any experience in this, I'm kind of happy with it. So we can add in half of the door here. And then the other half will be in honey blocks here. So now we have the entrance. All right, now it's time to start installing things underwater. So one side of our system is set up here. So as you can see, the door is open on this side. But if we go in and click this button, you can see the pistons will extend and our door has covered one half of the hole. And then if we hit the button again, you can see that this should retract back. Alright, so the next step is just to copy it onto this side and then we can work on the flying machine in the middle. Alright, so all the sides are connected up. So when we click this button, you can see that the whole thing opens up and oh, that is so cool. Alright, so now the flying machine can fly out, and then when we hit the button again, you can see that it all closes up. But before we do, one thing I forgot about are these edges here. So I think we're gonna have pistons that just retract these blocks back, or else they'll stick to the flying machine. Alright, and that has been done with the help of this T flip-flop design. So when we press the button, this comparator will turn off and the redstone will turn off, giving the observers an update, and then our pistons can extend and retract, bringing back the dirt block. And that is all done. So if we click the button, you can now see that everything gets completely covered up here. And then if we click the button again, you can see that it all opens up, including the sides here. Now it's time to install the flying machine. Alright, and with some slight modifications, this should work now. So if we put a block here, you can see that this will go back down, and when we update it again, it goes on its way up. So, perfect, and now we just, oh, no. So now we just have to get the other side up and running, and we should be good to go. Alright, so it's been a bit of time since the last clip, and that's because I've had to redo this section of the extenders, because what we were having is the honey blocks sticking to the dirt that just came out and extended one block. So what I've had to do is put in double piston extenders for here, so when we click the button, as you can see, these come out 2 blocks here. So both the flying machines are in, so if we power these sticky pistons here, you can see both flying machines will go up. And then if we break these blocks, they will both be sent down again. So now we just have to hook this up to the button. So the upward component is done. There's one button that'll send both flying machines up. But now we have to figure out a way to send them down, because the problem is we have to update both of these observers. So we're gonna have to have some sort of blocks there. But the whole point of this was try to be discreet. So I'm thinking if we build out some sort of dock, and then we can kind of conceal the blocks that will activate both of these. So let's give that a try. So I think I've come up with a bit of a clever solution. So if we go into creative here, and this is the button that I haven't hooked up yet, that will send the flying machines on their way up. And then if we go out here, so you can see I've built up a dock, and this is going to be decorated. This is just a proof of concept. But what I've done is kind of decorated it with buttons, and when we click this button here, this block here will retract, and that will send our flying machine back down. So as you can see, we press that button, and then it'll go back down. So now I still have to work out something for this side, and we are now getting really close. So I have hooked up all the circuitry, and I brought the buttons up to the top here. So these 3 buttons will now control everything. And I would like to get them all hooked up into one button, but this is just gonna show you how it works. So the first button that we press is this one here, which will open our big door. And there we go. So now the next button we press is this one, and this will send the flying machine up, just like that. And what happens is that the water actually doesn't flow in, just because how the flying machine went up. I mean, water mechanics are quirky in Minecraft, so fortunately the water won't flow in, and I didn't know this would happen. I was actually going to see if I could do sand flying machines to come up, so we could have a dry passage down, but luckily the water mechanics just worked out in our favor. So now we have a passage where we can hop down into the secret entrance and go into our base. And then what I'm gonna do is have it so that it automatically closes up back after itself. But what we do here is we press this button to send it back down. And there we go. And then we can press this button again to close up the door. So all that's left now is we just have to hook these 3 circuits together. Alright, so the redstone is all hooked up for this thing. But before I show it, we need to get this dock actually looking somewhat decent. So let's get to it. Alright, so now I think it is time for a full test. So I moved the button a bit closer and I think we should just go for it. Alright, here we go. Oh. Well, that was embarrassing. The problem was I had some blocks in the way of the slime launchers, so they got stuck to those blocks and wouldn't retract and extend properly. But I think that's fixed, so here we go. Alright, it's opening up. Okay, the big door is opening up. Come on. Alright, the slime launcher, or our flying machine is coming up. Okay, good. This is good. And then we can hop down onto our platform. And now it is going back down into the ground. And then we should see our door close up here. And it works! Okay, that's great. Alright, so I just wanted to try this one more time, but we're actually going to go in it this time and see what it's like if we had a base or a hidden tunnel underneath. So we can see the floor open up and our flying machine coming up. Oh, this is so cool. Alright, in we go. And we could just go off into some tunnel here, but we are going to watch and see it all close up. So all the water around us will disappear as the doors shut, and there we go. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I had a lot of fun making this, so I definitely think I'll be doing more of this in the future. So stay tuned for more videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.